Come on, rip, rip, rip.
As they say, football is king in Texas.
Boom, right there, good.
I can't imagine my life without it.
Keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep working.
But I almost had to imagine my life without it.
Good job, both of you, good job, both of you, both of you, both of you.
On the evening of March 28, 2009, high school football coach Paul Essary and his wife, Dowayna, were out shopping in their hometown of Pasadena, Texas. Suddenly, Paul had trouble breathing.
Everything's good, and just all of a sudden, felt like the wind went out of me. Felt like I had no energy. I had to sit down. My wife came by and asked, "Are you feeling okay?" And I said, "No, I don't feel real good."
Paul, only 48, knew the signs.
And I said, I'm having a heart attack.
Dowayna rushed Paul to the nearest hospital. He flatlined within minutes of being admitted.
They remove me from the room and take me out, and I literally go to my knees. I drop because I've just watched my husband die.
Unable to get a steady heartbeat, they transferred Paul to the cath lab, where they discovered a blockage in his left coronary artery, also known as the Widowmaker.
I was helpless. I was totally helpless. I had already gone to the Lord in prayer I don't know how many times.
After several failed attempts to clear the blockage, they had Paul flown across town to St. Luke's Medical Center, where a team of specialists better equipped to perform the procedure got to work. When Dowayna arrived, Paul was still in surgery.
That's the only thing that we had to go for. I mean, Paul was in Jesus' hands. It wasn't up to me. It wasn't up to the doctors. It wasn't up to all those people there. There was one person that was in control, and we all knew that. I knew that.
She had gotten word out to family and friends and found a place to be alone and pray.
I was telling God, you have got to go to work in there. You have got to touch those doctors. You've got to touch those instruments. You've got to make everything come out right because I need my husband back.
Finally, doctors removed the blockage, restoring blood flow. Paul was placed on an ECMO machine to assist his heart and lungs. Even then, his vital organs had gone over an hour without oxygen, and doctors had little hope for a good outcome.
If he survived this, to expect him to be in a wheelchair, possibly able to hold his head up, consider assisted living or homebound, somebody would have to be with me 24 hours a day. If he survived this, my husband would not be my husband. He would not be the man that I used to know.
As the night wore on, friends and family continued pouring into the already crowded waiting room to pray. By now, a prayer chain was spreading throughout the Houston area.
My prayers were not, please, Lord. No, it was, Lord, you will do this. I demand that you hear my prayers. That's the only thing I could think of at the time because of what we were going through. It wasn't a please, Lord.
As Dowayna and others held their vigil, Paul started to improve. After 5 days, he was taken off the ECMO machine and put on a ventilator. Dowayna knew her prayers were being answered.
I did. I had one of his sisters say, Dowayna, did you really talk to God like that? And I said, yes, I did, and it worked.
A week later, Paul woke up.
I see my beautiful wife looking at me, and she's smiling.
And I looked over at him, and he was sitting there smiling at me. And I went over to him, and I said, are you okay? He said, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine.
Tests revealed Paul had no brain damage, but whether he would ever have the strength to return to coaching remained to be seen. For Paul, it was about much more than football.
And I said, Lord, you're gonna have to help me. I never thought I wouldn't do it. I said, Lord, you're gonna have to help me. I said, I want to be able to dance at my grandbaby's wedding. And I want to hold their babies. And right then, I did not get out of that bed and start rehab to coach football again. I got up for my family.
After a month of rehab, Paul learned that he wouldn't be sidelined after all.
We go see the doctor, and the doctor releases me back at my own pace, no restrictions. I can coach again.
By summer, he landed a new head coaching job at Athens High School. In his first season, he took the Hornets to the playoffs. That, by all accounts, was a miracle. But these days, Paul keeps it all in perspective.
Nobody ever expected Athens to be in the fourth round of the playoffs, okay? And it came together, and nobody ever expected me to really be able to come back and coach. And I know the good Lord had his hand in the entire thing.
I need an offensive line right here facing me, right here. Huh? Right here.
And I know the Lord has a plan for it, and I tell everybody all the time, I don't think he brought me back to win football games. I think he brought me back to share my testimony, but I sure am glad he's let me win a few over the last 8 years.